mean, divorce is embarrassing. I don't know why we're still this culture of like divorce is shameful.
Instead of worrying about being embarrassed and ashamed of a divorce, he should be way more worried about being embarrassed and ashamed by his own behavior. Hello and welcome to Happily Ever Reality. Today we are talking about Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 7. I really enjoyed this episode, but there's one problem with me making a video about it. It jumped around a lot and there really wasn't that much that happened. It sort of focused on two big things. So instead of jumping back and forth, I'm just going to talk about each event separately. So it's not going to be in the sequence of the show, but I will cover everything that happened. But I want to get one thing out of the way, and that is talking about Kody. Not much of this episode focuses on Kody. Most of it is about the wives, but there was one part of the show where we see Kody and the kids out at the property with their mini bikes. I think the producers of this show know exactly how this is going to make viewers feel, and that is angry. I was so annoyed and angry when I was watching that, and all I kept thinking was about how Savannah was right there in town and might have really had a good time being out there on one of those mini bikes or on the four-wheeler that they had, and I didn't see her there at all. And we all know this would have been a great way to have bonded with his other kids, like taken an afternoon, called them and spent some time with them. But it feels like those mini bikes were specifically for Robyn's kids. I mean, that's what was there on Christmas morning. So it wasn't like they bought family mini bikes to share or mini bikes for all the kids. This is just for Robyn's kids. And the whole time I was sitting there, I'm like, what a missed opportunity to reconnect with your kids. He could have bought, he didn't have to buy one for every person in the family. He could have just bought several of them and said, hey, we're going to share these. What are the odds all the kids are going to be there at the same time wanting to ride them? They could have shared them. But let's get real. Kody wasn't worried about anyone else. It's clear who his favorites are. Now that Kody is out of the way, let's talk about the wives. I'm going to start off with Robyn and Meri. In this episode, Robyn heads over to Meri's house. Meri's invited her over to share the news about wanting to move her business, her online clothing business, to Utah so that she can spend more time in Utah there at the B&B and work on both of those separate businesses at the same time, instead of always having to drive back and forth to do one or the other. She also wants to downsize in Flagstaff. There's no reason for her to have a huge home there if she's not going to be there that often. Meri seems really hesitant to tell her, but once she does, I felt like Robyn took it really well. Meri shares that this is a 5-hour drive that she has been making from Flagstaff to the B&B in Utah. So this is just a practical decision for her. She wants all of the businesses to be in one place, and she explains that to Robyn. She also explains to Robyn her plan for being able to still be present there in Flagstaff.
And then I will just find another smaller home to move into here in Flagstaff.
Why does she need a house in Flagstaff? Why? Why can't she stay with Robyn? If all of her businesses are going to be in Utah, and let's get real, she is not going to have that many reasons to come back down to Flagstaff, why can't she save money and just stay with Robyn? Then she'll get to see Robyn more and see the kids more, which Meri acts like she does a lot of in the beginning of this episode, but I don't believe it, and later on we'll find out it's not true. She doesn't spend that much time with him, but she acts like she does. But if she stays with Robyn when she comes to Flagstaff, she'll get to see them all the time. Meri says she wants to work on things with Kody. If she stays with Robyn, she'll see Kody more. It seems to me like it's a total win for Meri to just go stay there with Robyn. And if Robyn was wanting the family to work the way that she claims she does, she would suggest that. She would say, you can just come and stay here. We'll find a place for you to sleep every now and then when you're here. But let's get real. Kody would never let that happen. Kody doesn't want Meri around that much. And honestly, I'm not sure I believe that Robyn really wants it either. I think the only thing that would motivate them to let Meri just come and stay there is if it was financial. If they can get some money from just letting her stay there after she sells the house, absolutely, they'll make it work. Robyn comes off a bit selfish in this episode, and she admits it. She says that she wants Meri to stay there in Flagstaff to be near her. She knows that Kody and Meri don't get along, so this is really about her, because it makes sense for Meri to move to Utah.
I'm still going to be here like this, together, right? Like where we both believe in the possibility of getting this family fixed somehow.
You cannot tell me that she thinks Kody and Meri are going to reconcile. Kody is so clear that he doesn't want that. I think Robyn knows it. Robyn just wants Meri around, and I can't even figure out why at this point. I have a short here on this channel about when Meri wanted to go to college and Robyn didn't want her to go because she wanted to stay back and help her with My Sister Wives Closet. I feel like it's the same thing here. Robyn has something she wants and then doesn't hesitate to kind of hold Meri back from doing what is best for Meri. It's just the same thing. And then I want to know this too. Why doesn't Robyn and Kody and the kids, not the 3 oldest kids, because they can stay home alone, but why doesn't Robyn, Kody, and the 2 younger kids go and stay at the B&B and see Meri sometimes? I understand they have school, but there are definitely times they could head up there and see her. And if Robyn cares about Meri as much as she claims to, you know what? She could go without Kody. She could say, hey, Kody, I want to go see Meri. I'm going to the B&B. There's a place for me to stay there. I just don't understand it. There's a point where, like, quit pretending, because it's clear to everyone that it's just not true. At this point in the show, Meri is just not ready to fully leave Kody. Meri talks about how she is worried Kody's going to find out the news about her moving the business to Utah, and then he's going to think she's finally thrown in the towel. And she doesn't want him to think that. But you know what? I think that's what Kody really wants. I think Kody is just like waiting for Meri to go, and Meri's not doing it. A part of me wonders if it's like a weird way to get back at Kody. Like, he's done with her and Meri's not gonna cooperate. So she says to Robyn at one point, Meri says, you're the only person that cares about me leaving. And Robyn doesn't even deny it. She doesn't like reassure Meri that Kody cares about her. I think it's so done and they all know it. No one even pretends Kody is interested in her. But I did find one part of this interesting. Robyn explains why Meri isn't actually leaving Kody yet. Like, what is keeping Meri hanging on to this marriage? And I want to put a clip in so you can hear it.
It's about also her integrity, and it's about her commitments. And she's a very devoted and loyal person when it comes to a commitment.
It's clear that Robyn's selective memory has made it where she cannot recall the catfish scandal. Even though I like Meri and I have a lot of compassion for her, she was ready to check out of this relationship a long time ago. And then when Kody basically says, go, get out of here, she doesn't go. I don't know. There's a part of me that wishes Robyn would encourage her to move on. But of course, that would be being disloyal to Kody. So I just don't think that's going to happen. Earlier in this video, I mentioned that I don't think Robyn and Meri are as close as they seem to act like they are. At least Robyn acts like they are. I just don't think they're that close. And it ends up being brought up by Meri. She talks about how during COVID and during the quarantine, she felt like she was really on her own.
Robyn hasn't reached out a lot.
I just think a lot of this is an act for Meri where she pretends she's closer to them than she is. I think it's her link back to Kody and the family. Without Robyn, there's nothing left there for Meri. So it's almost like she has to hold on. I'm also going to put in a clip here of Meri talking to Robyn about how Robyn will need to communicate with her. And it sort of feels like she's begging in a way. I don't know. This just felt really weird to me. Let me know what you guys think.
To communicate with me, you have to call me once in a while. You have to text me.
There's just something about her facial expression and the way she says it. It's clear they don't communicate much at all. So to me, Robyn wanting her to stay is just straight up her being selfish. And as this goes on, it just seems more and more selfish. During the talk with Meri, Robyn says that Christine destroyed Kody's past. According to Robyn, Christine said it was all horrible. Every moment of the marriage was awful. And Kody had thought it was all perfect. So Christine destroyed how he viewed their marriage. Now, Meri sits there and she listens. She doesn't say anything, or at least they don't show it during this episode. But during a confessional, Meri says that she doesn't believe it. She knows that Christine had complaints, but she says they all had complaints. So I'm going to throw in a clip of Meri talking about that here.
I don't believe that Christine said that every bit of our lives was hell.
These little comments from Meri might not seem like a big deal to everyone, but to me, they do. It feels like Meri is finally seeing things more clearly, and I appreciate that even though her and Christine don't get along, she's still willing to call Robyn and Kody out for saying things that might not be true about Christine. It feels like Meri is just seeing things a lot more clearly than she did before. Now, don't think for a moment that I was completely happy with Meri. There was a part of this that annoyed me. She made the comment that she feels like her and Robyn are the only two in the family willing to have hard conversations that are necessary to bring the family back together. I just thought that was ridiculous. She should know that Christine and Janelle invested years and years and made a lot of effort to work on their marriages and relationships before they left. Hard conversations don't seem to go anywhere in this family. They have a conversation and then pretend it didn't happen later on. So I don't think a hard conversation's fixing anything, and I don't think it's just Robyn and Meri that were willing to do it. But what's weird is she says that, right? She says it's just her and Robyn that are willing to do it, or to have these conversations. And then later in the same episode, she says that she doesn't really know what happens in the other relationships with Kody, because she keeps a distance. You know, she stays out of it. It's not her business to be in each of the other relationships. So in one part, she's saying it's just her and Robyn that want to do it. In another part, she's saying she doesn't really know what's going on. I think it's that one. I think she doesn't know what's going on. I think Meri's so far on the outside, she just comes around for holidays and that's about it. Toward the end of the episode, we do hear Robyn talk about how she always wanted polygamy. You know, she always wanted her front porch with her sister wives. She doesn't actually mention that in this episode, though. But she does mention how she always wanted polygamy, and she feels like she was sort of tricked. She's not getting what she wanted. So that is all for Meri and Robyn. Let's move over to Janelle and Christine. So these two get together at the Mexican restaurant that they often film at, and I have a confession to make. When I watch them and they're there eating, all I can think about is how much I want chips and salsa. I literally keep telling myself, make sure to get stuff to make your own salsa because of this show. Does anyone else do that? Do you ever watch a show where they go eat somewhere or they go do something and then you want to go eat that food or go do whatever they're doing? Because for me, it is this show and I just want some salsa. That's it. During this lunch, Janelle shares that she has met with therapist Nancy. If you have watched this show in the past, you know that the family has been meeting with Nancy for years. Janelle says it was helpful, but in the end, it doesn't make her feel like she wants to be married. It really just seems like Janelle is ready to move on.
I'm growing and I need something different.
I think Janelle is just at a place where she knows she deserves more. She's not wanting to work on things with Kody and she's ready to be independent. And let's get real, she's been independent for years and years. You know, she would say she's married to Kody, but she is living on her own, maintaining a home on her own, having a relationship with her kids when Kody is no longer doing it. Janelle's been living very independently. I think like now she's just ready to cut the cord and say, bye Kody, you weren't really around anyway and I deserve more than I've had so far.
Like, I don't want to be married anymore.
Janelle says that she's done with marriage, but Christine disagrees during a confessional. Christine says that Janelle still has a lot of affection for Kody, and Janelle's not ready to leave just yet. And as it goes on, you can sort of see that that is true. And Janelle brings up her faith. It discourages divorce, and that they believe that marriage continues into the afterlife. So it's not just here on earth. Their marriage would continue even after they die. So she really needs to figure out how she feels about her faith as well when she is figuring out whether or not she wants to stay with Kody. I do want to put in this clip of Robyn talking about the situation with Janelle and Kody. I found it really bizarre, and I want to know what you guys think. So here's the clip.
And I begged her not to tell him to come get his stuff, but she did it anyway.
She said she begged Janelle to not have Kody come and get his stuff. Do you guys really believe that? Because it really surprised me that she said it. I just don't know if I think Robyn picked up the phone and called Janelle and said, please don't have him get his stuff. Please call and talk to him. I just don't know if I believe that went down. But what do you guys think? Do you think Robyn tried to persuade Janelle not to have Kody move the stuff out of the house. To me, it was just really surprising to even hear Robyn say that. But that's not all that Robyn says. Robyn says that Kody does not tell her much about the things that are going on with Janelle, but she thinks that's because Kody won't like what she has to say. Robyn claims she would tell Kody to work it out and talk about it and make their family work. When Janelle and Christine are talking, they talk about how much Kody has changed. This is something that I have brought up on this channel many times. I actually did it in the last video. He's just not the same person. He used to seem like he was happy most of the time. He was very charismatic, and that's just not who he is anymore. And Janelle and Christine talk about it. They then switch over to Robyn and Meri, who are having a similar conversation over at Meri's house. They talk about how Kody isn't the same person that he used to be and how angry he is now. There's even a part of it where Robyn says she doesn't understand who Kody is at this point in time, and she doesn't understand why he isn't trying to actually work on his family. So this is something they all actually agree on, and most viewers agree on. Kody is just a changed man, and it is not in a good way. I have to admit that I really enjoyed this episode, and I think a part of it was because I felt like they were saying what viewers say. Like, the things they were saying are things that we say and the things that I read in the comment section. It's during this episode that Christine brings up Kody being mad about how she was as a sister wife. And they start talking about everything that we've all been seeing the whole time. Christine says she wasn't perfect, but there were a lot of things that she did right as a sister wife. And she feels like the biggest thing with being a sister wife is helping raise each other's children, like being there to support each other as moms. And we all know that a huge issue with Robyn is that she has a nanny and that she chose to not let Christine watch her kids. And Christine talks about it during this episode.
When she decided to get a nanny, it really was a line. It really was a line in the sand.
Of course, this nanny issue has been brought up so many times, and I felt like it died down for a while, and then it was brought back up when Christine asked the famous question, what does the nanny do? So this just never goes away, this nanny issue. Robyn choosing to have a nanny not only hurt Christine, I think in the long run, she missed out on an opportunity to bond with Christine and have her kids bond with the other kids. Robyn made a decision that I think affected the family for years and years to come. She just missed out on really fully being in the family when she chose that. Now, this part of the conversation between Janelle and Christine opens the door so we get to hear more about Robyn, and during one of the confessionals, Janelle really tells how she feels about Robyn and Kody. Now, I can't share all of it for copyright reasons, but I did want to put in one of my favorite parts of Janelle talking.
Robyn plays this really weird card where she forgets or she doesn't know why, and that's a typical MO for her.
This is absolutely something we have witnessed. Robyn seems to never remember or understand anything that has taken place or is taking place. And Janelle says that she can't bring up anything about Robyn to Kody because he always defends her. There is a part of this also where Christine talks about how when she threw family parties, Kody would come to her house as a guest. But at Robyn's house, Kody would actually be there like he was living there and helping with the party.
One of my biggest frustrations was every family party that I threw, he would come and be a guest at. Yet, he was always helping throw parties at Robyn's every time he's there.
I think that was just such a great example of how Kody is with his wives. I think it reflects a lot of things in their relationships. I should have an S on there. It was just a few episodes ago that we heard Meri say it's Robyn and Kody's house, and then it's Meri's house. It's not Meri and Kody's house because Kody lives with Robyn. Let's just get real. That's where he lives, and everywhere else, he's a guest. He doesn't live there. So Meri has just said something similar a few episodes ago, and now we're hearing Christine say it. Now, when Christine is talking about Kody and talking about this, Janelle seems to be holding back a little, and during a confessional, Christine says, you know, Janelle's not really ready to leave yet, so she's not going to say all of these things that I'm saying. And then it kind of flips over to Janelle, and Janelle says the same thing. She says, I'm not sure yet. And I don't want what Christine is saying to play a role in my decision. I want to make a decision for myself. I want it to be my own choice. So Janelle is just not ready to leave yet. And at this point, Meri isn't ready to leave either. So that is it for this episode. If you are still with me, thank you so much. And be sure to leave a comment and let me know what you thought about everything that happened on the show. If you haven't already and you like my videos, please go ahead and click like and subscribe. I appreciate all the support I get here on this little channel. It means so much to me. And I just want to let you know I am going to be putting out a video on Friday. It is going to be another Sister Wives video. So I haven't done that in a couple weeks. So there'll be another one this week. And there's also going to be my Plathville video in the middle of the week. So if you like Welcome to Plathville, you can watch one of those as well. And that is all. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys thought about this episode. Thanks for watching.